Are you a sports fanatic? You get off on college football, college basketball, the NBA, the NFL, golf, ping pong, and sports betting. Wait, back up. Ping pong? What the hell? This is Jump Shots from the Goal Line.
Watch out! He's got getting away from the top speed.
Hot takes and hilarious banter on everything from college football to the NBA and everything in between, except ping pong. And we're not just flying solo. We're bringing in some heavy hitters from the world of sports. Journalists, players, legends. You name it, we've got them. Why should they have all the fun?
Bryant for the win. Bang!
This is Jump Shots from the Goal Line. Where every episode is a slam dunk. And now your hosts, Jonathan Dugan and John Henningsen.
What's up, everybody? Happy Monday night. Hope everybody's weekend was swell. I actually ran into Henny this weekend, totally unannounced, which was
impromptu.
Yeah, it was wild. You know, just having a nice family dinner at a local restaurant where the girls are half naked, but it was cool. You know, the vibes were real. But it was cool to see my good old pal in the flesh. But yeah, man, how was the rest of your weekend? I know you got out there and played a little bit.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, it was a good weekend, man. A nice little golf weekend per usual. So, you know, we had the tasties out. The beers are flowing. Golf is happening. Life is good. It was all good vibes. It was a good weekend. And obviously, we were in a really good mood when we saw you. It was fun running into you. Yeah, I think we were more surprised to see you at said family establishment. We're like, wow, it totally makes sense on a Sunday after church. This all tracks, no questions needed. So that was great. But I will say, because I don't want to get too far off of this real quick, because we did get our boys sending in some more stuff, and whether you want them in a birthday variety pack when you're out there, so they're great as a gift. You got flavor down to a T. And also he sent me a little note, and all this stuff just came in, and you're probably not going to be able to read this, but promo code JumpShots, 15% off. And then we're going to be voting for a flavor in June. So we'll keep you posted on that. I know we're talking about the flavor stuff, so it's just news to me. I just opened the package. Actually, I have all the residue on my fingers from the packages, which I do love. Then you lick your fingers and your fingers taste good. So their finger looking good. I don't think that's been used already, has it? There's no
it's trademarked. No,
that's not trademarked. Okay, cool. Yeah, we're good there. So tasties, finger looking. No, but flavors down to a T. But I just wanted to say that and throw that in there. And much love for sending us some more swag that we can pass out and share with the world as we bounce around.
Dude, the Tasties have been getting a lot of love in my circles. I don't know about you, and this isn't even I'm not saying this because they're a partner of ours or anything, but it's actually pretty wild. I have guys in the office that ask me if I have Tasties in my truck because they want something to chew on while they're just at their cube. I shared them. I golfed on Saturday with 3 other random guys, and even the 68-year-old gentleman who would have never thought about putting a tea in his mouth and chewing on it liked it. I have a lot of people hitting me up about the Tasties. So one of my favorite partners that we have for sure. I definitely indulged in them this weekend. I hit a really solid drive with a Tasty in my mouth, and I know it's because I had the Tasty in my mouth. You know, you're able to just really lock in. You know, you got a good flavor going on. It's pretty key. So I will tell you though, I don't know if the Tasties work too well with the Arizona desert. It's more of just a chewing thing. I bet anywhere else in the country, you could probably plop that thing right in the ground and it works fine. Tough usage out here. So maybe we can dial it down a little bit there, but or don't. I like how they are. So
just hammer it in there. It's all good. I mean, really, that's something you got to talk to your superintendent about. We need a little moisture in these tee boxes. Help us out, man. It's not a me problem. It's a you problem.
Yeah. Groundskeeper Willie needs to come in clutch because it's that. What do they call it? Caliche. It's like that desert concrete, basically.
Caliche, yeah.
Yeah, right. It's tough out here, man. I was gonna tell you too, man, because I played Del Lago. And it was like, I would say in medium condition, right? Like there were
Sure.
some holes nicer than others, but damn, dude, some of those like greens were just like concrete. Like the ball just was rolling. And I was like, it was a little tough navigating at first, bro.
It's an interesting game out there in the desert right now. For those that aren't used to it, yeah, it just gets like firm. It can be really fast. It can be week to week. Like they can
Yeah.
get a certain amount of water, then it like will start to respond, and then because of it, you'll have some people growing out the grass a little longer. Some places will cut it real tight. There's a lot going on in the desert. You have to learn to play in the mini seasons. The luxury is we get to play in all of them. So,
Oh yeah.
but you do have to like learn kind of like different styles of game, and there is like more of a British Open-y low ball flight feel that is more workable in the summer if you can figure that out.
We are squarely in the season here in Arizona, by the way, where you get up to the putting green and it has definitely been spray painted green, either because the grass hasn't come in yet or it's already dead. And that shit always makes me laugh. I'm like, this is so apparent that it is spray painted green right now.
Yeah, the good places you'll never know, and then the places that are a little more suspect, you'll probably catch on because they probably went a little cheap even on the paint.
Yeah,
As
dude.
like Carlos Boozer and LeBron James could probably attest to.
It reminds me of like pre-mergent, like the stuff you put on your gravel
Yeah,
so it doesn't
mhm,
have weeds. It looks exactly
exactly.
like that. And it
Yeah,
probably is that.
totally that
And
feel.
I just have my hands all through it and then just throwing tasties in my mouth. I can't wait for the side effects. But no,
That's
dude.
right. You're already swallowing microplastics anyways. So I wouldn't worry about it.
Yeah, apparently our balls are just full of them, so that's great news.
Swimming in microplastics. Yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently, I
Well,
don't know. That's what they're telling us. Yeah.
yeah, dude, I love it. But no, dude, it is squarely golf season. Even I'm getting out there a lot more, which has been really cool. So hopefully you and I can get out there here soon. Maybe get our boy Noah out there if he's out there listening. He's not, but here's a call out to him. But yeah, dude, so kind of a weird weekend because one of our favorite personalities is no longer with us, right? So it was kind of poetic, kind of like right when the Pac-12 the sun sets on it, so does it on Bill Walton. So I thought we would kind of wax poetic a little bit tonight. I think most people, I think most rational people really appreciated Bill Walton for who he was. You're gonna have your like shitty people out there that like I've heard it before, like, oh, why couldn't he focus on the game? That's why I loved him though. Like every city that he went to, he had a billion fun facts about that city. And I just thought it was always so cool. His personality, like, and too, like if the guy wanted to, he could tell you more about basketball than you'll ever forget. So I'm gonna miss him. I was telling you when I saw you at lunch that I had literally been listening to the Grateful Dead all morning, and I almost teared up, dude. Like I met the guy in person just at McHale, and like couldn't have been nicer. Just super hospitable, super like down to earth dude. And he's gonna be missed, man. I know you got some thoughts.
Yeah, I think like I would just echo a lot of what you shared, but to me it was always just like, and it's all the stories we've heard, right? Like, so everybody who like really knows Bill is going to tell a far better story. So I'll just share it from like our experience of like this was just a guy that was like excited about life, excited about basketball, and like that's really what came through for me. For the people that were like super worried about like, hey, stick to the game, say this guy's name, dude. I'll just speak for myself as a Cats fan. I know our roster. I know our
Yeah,
roster up and down. I know who we're playing. I know what's going on. I'm not lost in the game because he wants to talk about Saguaro National Park and the beautiful sunsets, or he drifts off into in the Oregon, whatever it was, whatever he felt like waxing poetic about. I was all in. I just thought he was a breath of fresh air. I liked that he was having fun with everything that he did. To me, it was like, I mean, as good as it gets. Like, and to me, he represented like everything that was like fun about the Pac-12 as well, is because the Pac-12 is like unique. It was, different, and people kind of wanted to like clown on it. And I think that's like where some of the people would get mad is like there's insecurities about our conference, I guess.
yeah.
And then someone is like, oh, we don't even have a serious person running in. If we had someone, dude, listen to Jay Billis for like a lot. I mean, do that. And then
Not
tell
even
me
a
you
lot.
want a lawyer doing all of it, because you don't. It ain't fun, dude. It's just not. The guy sucks when he's in town. And this wasn't supposed to be about Jay Billis, but like I'm just telling you, like it's just a lot better than you think it was. I think people will see that, but as you mentioned, like I do think it was really just I'm going to keep saying poetic. I guess we're just stuck here, but it just really amazing in a terrible way. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but the Pac-12 dies, he passes. It all just feels the way it was supposed to be.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and
it's
I know
romantic.
Sure, dude.
Can you romanticize it?
If we're just looking for similes of poetic, then sure, romantic works.
Yeah.
You know, my favorite ones, dude, were just like, who was the guy that he always did it with? Was it Bill? Was it
Dave Pash?
Dave Pash. Thank you. I knew it was Pash. But like some of the memes, right? Where like it's Bill Walton talking about, and the sunset goes down in a beautiful emerald green forest in Oregon, and then you have Dave Pash, and Oregon is down by 2.
Yeah.
Like, those were always the best moments, though, dude. Like, I don't know. Like, you're right. Like, we clown commentary so much, and we always talk about the fact that, you know, most people just turn off the commentary as it is because they don't want to have to listen to play-by-play. Like, I feel like Bill Walton, you weren't even listening to something about the game. Like, you were following a game, but then you also just had like this nature documentary guy in the background, and it just so happened to be like the coolest stoner guy ever. Like, you know, and
totally.
I loved it.
I'm going to fail to attribute this to the right person, so I'm just not going to attribute it to anybody. But someone said basically something along the lines of Bill Walton made the game feel like he made it. He had the perfect understanding of like that basketball wasn't important at all in the grand scheme of things. But that also, like, this game, you know, the whole earth is hanging in the balance of, and then also making that game feel very important and very poignant. And like, this is the moment that you want to be in. And again, like, that's really like what I think I would hope anybody would take away from him is like, I just think he was really embracing the moment. I think he was really embracing life. And I think everybody can take something from that.
Yeah, that was the thing, right? Like when the game got close, I mean, Bill could wax poetic about the actual game. I think people forget like just how freaking good of a basketball player this guy was. Like he was one of like John Wooden's last like really, really good big men after, you know, Kareem left UCLA. Then he goes on to Portland, is very, very good, but just struggles with injuries, goes to San Diego when they were the Clippers, and then wins a freaking title with the Celtics. Like he was a very good basketball player. The guy knows what he's talking about. If he chooses not to talk about basketball the whole time, there's probably a reason, you know? And like, you're totally right, dude. The guy just lived life to the fullest. He made a pact with himself that he would go to 1,000 Grateful Dead shows. And I think he got real close. I think he got to like 997 if we're going to count Dead and Company, which I think you totally should, by the way. Just quick shout out.
Yeah.
But then like, he just also loved everything about like the Pac-12. Like he talked about the biosphere every time he came to Tucson. Like he's the only guy I know that truly cares about the biosphere. You know, like there are just so many cool things about him that I'm really going to miss. And it makes moving to the Big 12 a little bit easier because I know that was actually one of the questions people had was like, well, what happens to Bill Walton? You know?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Now we don't really have to worry about it. So yeah, man. In the spirit of that, though, since you and I do love him so much, I did find a quick little video of just some of his best moments. So if you guys are listening just on your car speakers or whatever, like just enjoy his commentary. If you're watching the video later on, you know, try to enjoy the video. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and we will just asking the greatness of Bill Walton.
Right out of it while it's lit.
While it's lit?
Say, oh, I'm kidding. This is an excellent shirt, by the way. I've got one of those.
This is your shirt.
That's my shirt.
It is. Quack, quack.
People doubted whether you actually drove to Temecula.
No, I went to Temecula and brought you some dirt.
Oh,
like,
don't.
You do it like this. You get it. You sort of rub it on. Get it, and then you just sort of, okay, now I'm ready to go. It's National Popcorn Day, please. Party on. It's a wonderful day. It's Oregon. The sun was out. Come on.
I think with Brooks on the floor, his goggles came off.
He's getting up quicker than Nate Robinson did. Maybe I'll just skip down right here.
Bill is taking his shirt off. Isn't wearing deodorant, taking his shirt off.
It's Monofuku's Andu's birthday. Monofuku Andu. He's the inventor of the instant noodle. And thank you. I love my noodle. It doesn't get any better than this. I just got laid. Oh, I love my chocolate. Yeah, I'm not a very good catcher. I'm much better at getting high than getting low. There it goes. There it goes. Deep to left. There it goes. And gone. It's gone. Oh, my gosh.
7-point lead right now.
Dusted off.
Have you kissed your ostrich today? That's what I want to know.
I brought you a special gift here. Now, this is not from the park. You can't do that. I brought this from my hotel room. This can be eaten. This can be burnt as fuel. This can be used as decoration in your house. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Got a present for you here.
Oh, no.
These are very special and sacred plants.
This is another gift.
This is a gift. It's like that right here.
South Bend, Bill Walton has finally met his match. The leprechaun.
I have found that mushrooms only help you. Anyway, this is a foam roller with a vibrator inside, so it's fantastic. And it's got multi-speeds on
This
it.
is called a glockenspiel, okay? Made famous German name. You broke it. No, I didn't break it. It comes apart like that.
And may I bless you. May I bless you with the sacred blue corn.
Should I go for it, Rue?
It won't hurt you. But it is bitter. It looks bitter.
I love big leaf maples.
I do too.
Oh, this feels so good.
All right. I feel like a 2-minute video is just enough for a podcast, but we could have gone way longer. Just so many good moments of Bill, dude. You know, just we have Talby going off in the chat, and he's making actually some really good points. He said, listen to Bill announce a Luke Walton U of A game, Apex Bill. Absolutely. That was also really great. Said, fun fact, Walton wrote lefty but shot righty. And then hot take, Bill Walton would have been the best baseball announcer of all time. He would have given it a good run, dude, for sure.
I mean, it's a lot more leash. And that's like something that always was good for him as far as I was concerned. Let that guy just be, you know.
Yeah,
some people in life are good at just being themselves. He really felt like he was one of those, and had time to promote solar, shout down coal, all of it, maybe a bit, probably serious. Yeah.
I don't know with him, dude. We'll never know.
Yeah, that's kind of what it felt like.
And it's good that way, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
Some of the stuff that we didn't get to see on that video are some of his NBA stuff too, which was also just top-notch quality. Back in the day when NBA used to be on NBC, Bill used to. What'd you say?
Yeah, like Snapper Jones and like it was like when I was very young when Bill was doing that, but I like have some
vivid memories, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, he was just the man. He's going to be missed. So, you know, rest in peace, Bill. Hopefully you're just watching Jerry Garcia up in heaven right now. So cool, man. Well, we'll stay on kind of the basketball train, obviously, right? Like NBA finals. I think they start when probably
Thursday.
That's what I was thinking. So a couple of days. I have some thoughts on this finals, but I'm going to let you kind of go off first, because I feel like you're going to be a little bit more positive than me, but not by a lot.
I don't know how I could be, Dugan. I don't know what your thoughts are, I guess, so maybe not. But, well, first of all, like, let me just say, like, it's ridiculous that the NBA, I get that they're going to, like, schedule out the NBA finals, but given we don't know what cities they're going to be in, do we really need to have this, like, week and a half to 2 week lull in between the end of this series and then waiting all the way till Thursday? Shame on the NBA, number one.
Yeah. That's
and then beyond that, coming out of the Eastern Conference, absolutely with no drama whatsoever, a team nobody likes, the Boston Celtics, with players nobody likes, the Boston Celtics, versus the Dallas Mavericks, who I think has been well documented on here that we fucking hate those guys. And I'm sorry. Yeah. Like, there's no way around it, and I have to correct, because I'm like, there's not even any way around it. I'm not a Luka guy. This is James Harden 2.0. It's ball dominant, heliocentric basketball, which I don't enjoy. Dugan, it's. I'll just tell you right now, like, basically where I'm at is I'm basically rooting for The most optimistic I can be is that the best player on either of these teams doesn't win the MVP, so I can at least still kind of chuckle at Luka or Tatum in some sort of like small demerit in their resume.
You're hoping for like a Peyton Pritchard MVP or like a name Dallas Mavericks player, Derrick Jones MVP.
Yeah, exactly. If we can get, Josh one, that'd be great. I'd be fine with that. Do we have any other Arizona? He's the only Arizona player there, so it's not looking good, man. I mean, Josh Green for MVP. It's pretty much what I got.
I like that. I think there's some merit to that. I don't know, man. Like, do you ever have like shower thoughts where you're just taking a hot shower and you're like, you're just going through your day or whatever? For me, it was getting ready for the podcast. So I was like thinking about the finals and stuff. I had a thought. This is like a white supremacist wet dream finals, right? Because you have Boston on one side, who's notoriously like racist. Let's just keep it a buck.
Yeah, I didn't send you any of those tweets, but they're out there. Yeah.
Yeah, notoriously racist. And then you have the Dallas Mavericks, who are led by just the whitest player in the league, right? Luka Doncic. And then Kyrie Irving, who just disagrees with everything that is mainstream in the world. I think this is like their finals, right? And that's why none of us are excited.
The world. Like the actual world, he disagrees.
Yeah,
with. He's like, you're not round.
Yeah. So that was like one of my shower thoughts, and I was just like, this is exactly the finals that you and I talked about the very, very beginning of the playoffs. That we were like, this can't happen. Like, this is the one matchup we don't want to see, because you're completely right. It's either the Celtics winning another championship, which is just like freaking saltine crackers, nobody cares outside of like New England, or it's Luka Doncic getting a championship, and then we never will hear the end of like how the Suns passed up on him, or how he's better than Booker, or blah 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 blah. It's going to be so whack, and I am not here for it. The only thing I am here for is like the Kyrie Irving kind of stuff, because there's a hatred on both sides, and I feel like that could be fun. But that's it. That is legitimately the only thing I care about with this whole finals.
Yeah, Kyrie to me is the most enjoyable watch in the finals, like aesthetically pleasing, by far, like my favorite player to just sit and watch in a game that's going to be in this finals. And then, yeah, man, this is just pain. I'm going to just stand for saltine crackers right now. I really like saltine crackers. You use them in a disparaging way. I won't defend the Celtics, but I do enjoy saltine crackers. Great in a soup.
Saltine crackers.
Oh yeah, I can just eat them plain. Just like I could eat them. Just like you open that sleeve, I'll just smash a sleeve. No problem,
dude. I mean,
no problem with saltines.
The only time I've done that is when I'm sick, like when I have a tummy ache.
That's the best thing about being sick, is knowing that you can just start smashing saltine crackers.
just
with reckless abandonment. Yeah, just recklessly drinking lemon lime soda of your preferred flavoring, and eating saltines. But yeah, I mean, that's, I don't know. Do you want to talk about crackers for a bit? I just really hate this finals so much. I don't know how to express, and I don't know anybody who, in my life, like no one's excited about. Like I don't know a person that's excited about this.
Are you a Ritz crackers guy or a saltine crackers guy if you had to pick one?
No, saltines all day. I don't understand Ritz. I think Ritz are stupid. I actually do not like Ritz crackers.
They're buttery versions of like saltines, bro. Like,
yeah, you end up like with greasy hands from eating crackers. Gross.
Yeah, but your mouth gets like cotton mouth from eating saltines.
Do you act like Ritz are just like washing right down? They wash themselves down. Get out of here.
Yeah, they're drenched in
butter,
butter,
leave
dude.
a Ritz without a glass of water, dude.
Oh man,
I think saltines are far superior in the cracker game. I mean, I'm not saying that's the best cracker even necessarily, but
so what's the best cracker?
That's a good question. I'm not prepared to answer. I would say somewhere though, like probably though, like a Triscuit or a Wheat Thin.
Wow, you are. Oh, dude, a Wheat Thin, a Triscuit. You want to talk about dry mouth? A Triscuit will destroy your mouth.
I love it. I love a good Triscuit. Give me I don't even know what the flavors are that they do, but yeah, like their little cracked pepper and salt or little olive oil and sun-dried tomato Triscuit. Yeah, good to go.
Right when you think you know somebody, you know what I mean? Like, God. Ah, dude, the only
I
person
don't like.
I've
I mean,
ever
I really don't
seen,
like a Ritz though. I mean,
the only person I've ever seen unironically like Triscuits is my 86-year-old father,
respect.
which he was born in during the Great Depression when that's all they
Yeah,
could
let's go with
afford
it.
anyway.
Yeah, it's my guy. I knew I liked that guy. Just trusted him.
uh, maybe I'm just on the other side of the fence. Maybe I just think crackers are just kind of like trash as it is.
Well, like if you go to my pantry right now, there's not a damn cracker in there. I mean, like I'm not. So to be clear, this is not a. It's not a real heavy cracker household, but if I'm gonna have one, I do like a Triscuit. I can't lie to you. I can't lie to the people.
What about like, are rye chips a form of a cracker?
Sure, I like
Okay.
those.
Rye chips are far supreme. Like
I think it's like
those are
more cracker
delicious.
than chip, so I would say more like I would call it a cracker.
Yeah, it should be like a rye cracker, but you know.
Yeah, but it's good branding though to call it a chip.
No, yeah, for sure.
Until you're in the chip aisle and you're getting smoked by actual good chips, but yeah.
Oh, you know what I do like are those club crackers though. You know, like the long white ones.
But that's just like a saltine.
Yeah, but they're buttery.
Yeah, okay, well that's fine. I think that's like a nice happy medium. I think a club cracker is a place where me and you can agree to shake hands.
Yeah, that would like some just cheese on it, bro. That slaps. Like that is a
Yeah, because
snack.
that's all. I mean, really, like a cracker is always just a vessel for something else, to be honest.
Absolutely.
Like, right? Which I would agree that a saltine isn't actually very good at that. It's
No.
not like the best to pair. Like, I'm not like if there's no way I'm putting out a charcuterie board and throwing saltines on it. Like, that's just not going to happen.
You will put a
But
club
I wouldn't
cracker
throw
on.
Ritz on it either. So like we're dabbling in the lower end of the cracker aisle.
Yeah, we're definitely more tortilla chip guys. Absolutely.
Yeah, I've said that very strongly and passionately multiple times that I like as a carb, I am a tortilla.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, I guess we do actually have to talk about the finals. Talby says Cheez-Its win. I don't. Yeah, Cheez-Its are good. You know what
That's
though?
like a snack. I mean, that's like that's
I don't
cheating,
think of it as a cracker.
yeah, that's
where
like
I
saying
was,
like, oh, like Cheetos my favorite chip. I'm like, kind of, but like Cheetos like its own thing.
though, dude. Cheez-Its had, I don't know if they still have this, but they had like a Tabasco flavored. That thing, I could eat the entire box.
Yeah, those are so good. Also, I will give our man there, Talby, credit. This is something in his own. I'll share one of his takes in life, and that any chip bag, and I think it would apply for his Cheez-It box as well. Doesn't matter what size you buy it. Once you open it, it's one serving.
That's what he says.
That's what he says, and I don't like really disagree. I mean, if it's a chip you really like you're alone, that's dangerous. Like no matter what size of maybe you're not going to house a whole bag of tortilla chips.
Well, that was
probably.
my question. Like you get a family size of like Cool Ranch Doritos, and you eat it in one sitting. That's one serving.
I mean, not according to the USDA, I'm sure, or whoever approves these things. But I'm just telling you, like, if you open a box of Cheez-Its, I don't care how big that box is, you're in for a battle if you're trying to get out of there before you finish that box.
Yeah, no, I know. Every time I open up like that box of Tabasco Cheez-Its, it's mind games. You know what I mean? Talby says the whole bag doesn't matter the size. I may put it away, but I'm grabbing it 15 minutes later.
It's the thing, dude. Once you everything is the Pringles once you pop can't stop situation. Like in your heart, like it's a thing. Even if you actually go to bed, like you're waking up, you're thinking about that. You're like, I still have those chips. Thank God I had self-control yesterday. I'm going to smack those now.
Was it Lay's that said you just can't have one or something like that?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Once you pop, you can't stop. It's Lay's. I mean, all of those are just great branding for Tasty. Have you considered any of this branding?
Dude, oh my God. Low key, right? Like if he did a potato chip flavored Tasty, and it was just kind of like, I don't know how I don't know how the chemistry works, right? I'm not a big brain guy that way. But like if you can lock in like a salt content some way, somehow, we were kind of getting at that with like the whole tahini or margarita.
Yeah,
thing.
we were definitely like leaning that direction a little bit.
I think really what it comes down to is just for these two co-hosts, we like our sodium, we like our salt. You know what I mean? whether
And we
it's
hate the NBA Finals.
yeah, and we are salty about the NBA Finals.
Yes.
I guess if we are a sports podcast at the end of the day, even though we fancy ourselves to be just, Renaissance men of different things, if we had to pick one team to win,
Just called us fat. We're Renaissance men. Like, what are we? Well, we're fat.
Yeah, basically. But if we had to pick one team to win and taking emotion out of it, because we hate both teams, I don't know about equally, but we do hate them both for sure.
Yeah.
It has to be the Celtics, right? Like Celtics are probably winning.
I think so, but it does really scare me. Like if I'm the Celtics, I'm definitely the scarier players are on the Mavericks to me.
Just
But like the team
one-on-one.
holistically, yes. And I was reminded, I mean, and of course in like terror flashback fashion, like I did watch just enough of the Celtics in that Eastern Conference final to watch Drew Holiday get in Halliburton's shirt before he injured him. And I'm just like, this guy's an absolute terrorist. And I do think that like Drew Holiday alone is like enough to be like, hey man, it's like he's gonna be a problem for somebody. Like as bad as Kyrie is, bad as Luka is, I'm telling you, that's not the guy you want chasing you up and down the court. So Boston just seems deeper. Like across the board, they're deeper. So I would have to lean that direction. But it just sucks. We haven't really seen him get tested in the Eastern Conference at all. So it's just hard to say.
Yeah, the switchability with Holiday and Brown, just switching off and on to like Kyrie and Luka, like that's going to be really, really tough for the Mavericks. And they don't have really like that third option, like a solidified third, right? Like you look at the Celtics.
No, they don't.
The Celtics have Drew, they have Jalen, they have Tatum. They're about to get Porzingis back, which we've clowned him before, but like he's still very good. I don't think the Mavericks have a single answer for somebody like Porzingis, though they should know him better than anybody since he was on that team. I mean, they're just top down better across the board, I would say, just depth wise. I agree with you though. Like if we're looking at just like a close game going to the final moments, like Kyrie's more clutch than anybody on the Celtics. Luka's more clutch than anybody on the Celtics. I just don't think it's going to be even really that close. I would even, this might be hot takey, and if I'm saying it's definitely not going to happen, I could see a sweep, right? Like a 4-0 sweep. I don't think that's crazy.
I really can't see it being that. Like to me, it feels more like Celtics in 6. Like Celtics in 6. Like I do think we're gonna have a series still. I just don't trust. Like I just can't trust Boston. This Boston squad, we've never seen them do it. Even though, but then they've been there so many times. You're like, they have to eventually do this. And this isn't exactly like the Mavericks don't like strike fear in my heart either. It's just that they do have two guys that you're like, hey, we've seen these guys do. Like we know Luka's
superstars.
I don't think like Luka's going to be scared of the moment, right? Like he could be outplayed. They can outgun him, throw enough bodies at him, whatever. I really don't think he's a guy who's going to be scared. I don't really think Kyrie is going to be scared. I just think ultimately, it feels like Boston has more depth and they wear him down.
Who does Luka guard?
Nobody. He does what he always does. He hides.
I just think Boston has too many guys that can like hit shots for them to be able to do that. That's the thing. That's why like I agree with you. There's a lot of really good star power on this Dallas team, but it's just like both ways, right? Like defensively, the Celtics match up really well with the Mavericks as well as anybody can. And then like offensively, like you can't hide Luka on defense because they have guys that hit shots. Like Tatum's going to hit shots. Jaylen Brown's been good. Drew Holiday can get to the bucket. Porzingis can even stretch it out to the 3. Like I don't see it.
They have a lot of shooters. I mean, they're going to bring in White. They're going to play Pritchard. I mean, like all of those guys are going to hit shots. They're going to outmath them. It's probably
a very good roster. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I think honestly, like they have like a couple of, like star-ish level guys in Jalen and Jason. And then they have just a bunch of guys that can knock down shots, a bunch of like really good, would-be starters on 28 teams in the league, just good, solid NBA players that knock down shots. So, I think by attrition, and I get what you're saying, you probably like running in a freaking simulator. It probably is, 2K, it's probably 5. It is probably a
5
sweep.
game.
I mean, yeah, it's like a 5-game, 4-game, and it is. It's just like the Celtics are better. They're 93 overall. The Mavericks aren't 87, but they have Luka, or whatever you want to look at it as.
Nice 2K logic. I always think of it that way as well.
Yeah. I'm like, what were their ratings? Yeah. What were their ratings?
As I'm shoving Cheez-Its down my mouth playing 2K. Exactly.
I think it's just because like the football one's coming out too. I'm starting to like see ratings again and people arguing about ratings, and I'm like,
we got to talk about that.
We're back. Yeah.
But before we talk about that, Toby made a good point. He said Celtics are first in the league at threes, Dallas are third. So yeah, that's what I mean too, right? Like I could for sure see it being a shootout. Like Luka is good enough as a playmaker to like, and so is Kyrie. Like they're both incredible playmakers, right? So it's just kind of like that drive and kick out kind of stuff, and like
a lot of drive and kick,
beating the doubles. Like that's the thing too. Like the Celtics can't necessarily double because there's just that star power there from either one of them. But like if they do that well enough where they can like drive and kick, then it goes to where you're thinking like a 6-game series if the Mavericks can stay hot shooting threes. But the thing is, like what Toby said, Celtics are number one. Like, and you've said it, like Peyton Pritchard, all those guys, Derek White, they all shoot the shit out of the ball. So I don't know. Like I lean pretty heavily on like a 4-game sweep, a 5-game ass kicking, where the Mavericks pull one, but there is that slight 5% chance that like the Mavs can make a series out of it. I just don't see any way the Mavericks win, which that means guys, go place your bets right now on the Mavericks as 2024 NBA champs.
Yeah, we've been so bad at that. Like it's like since we started the show. I mean, that's what I mean. Like, it's like we get the big picture items in terms of like who is a player this guy is. That I don't even feel bad about anything we've ever said in that. But if we're just purely picking a series, there's no way you can trust us. There's no way
pisses me off. And again, I know people are going to get mad about the homerism, but like I look at this Mavericks team and like I know the Suns can beat them. Like on a good day, like the Suns beat this game.
Like a good vibe Suns team. Yeah, like if these guys just weren't moping around the court, like complaining about Frank Vogel or whatever was going on. Yeah. I know.
Yeah. Fucking dude,
we're just a LeBron James away.
Should we talk about that really quick? Actually,
I mean, we might as well, right? Like this is what we want to talk about, anyways.
It's heating up. It is definitely heating up. The fact that Bronny only is going to work out for the Lakers or the Suns should tell you exactly where LeBron is going, because LeBron's whole thing for like the last 10 years that Bronny's been like big enough to play basketball, like at a somewhat competitive level, has been LeBron's going to play until he can play with his son. And then he wants to play a year or two with his son. Well, if that's the case, LeBron just told you the two teams that he's he's interested in playing for. And I can tell you this much, James Jones has no plan B. He's going right to his best bud, LeBron James, and saying, hey, we'll take your boy at 22 or whatever we have, 22, 23, and you opt out, take the veterans minimum, and let's go get another chip. We'll see. And then, Toby, Bronny, or Bryce, I think is only like 2 years out. I think he's a senior this year in high school.
Feels right.
So, so we'll see. I mean, there's worse things that can happen, right? It'd be at least interesting. It solves the point guard question.
There's nothing the Suns can do better with a minimum guy. I mean, I can tell you that much right now. I mean, we know that, right? There's nothing. If you told me the 22nd pick could be either whoever you think the best player is in this draft or LeBron James, you would definitely take LeBron James.
Well, so like whatever draft anyway.
Yeah. So like whatever we want to say, like that 22nd pick, even at 40, that guy's probably not as valuable as LeBron James joining your team. So as we've already talked about, we talked about this when we met like 2-3 weeks ago. It came up, and I mean, look, if you're the Suns, this makes sense. Now, whether like LeBron's actually serious about it or whether he's just like playing the game and doing like his leverage stuff, and we're just kind of, is James Jones just being cool? Are we just being cool with Clutch? Are we just being friendly and, hey, we're cool to be the leverage guys? Like, that's fine. We're just a good vibe Suns guys. We do you a favor now. Maybe this somehow turns around and we get a guy down the road. That's all in play too. So like this ultimately might not pan out, but it's interesting that it's at least a possibility. If it's a 10% chance, it's a chance.
The question came up: would we be mad if LeBron opted out at that point and then went to the Warriors? Like, I just don't see him going to the Warriors. I think as long as they have Draymond Green, he's not going to the Warriors.
No, I don't care what like I'm not gonna be mad at LeBron if he does anything.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, no, I don't have like any expectation around this or like I'm gonna get feelings into this. It's just like an interesting thing of like, can we draft his kid? He's gonna opt out and then play here for free, essentially, is a wild thought. But if he wants to go do it somewhere else, still wild. But no, I'm not gonna be mad at LeBron James.
No. I wouldn't even be mad though if we did draft Bronny still and he still didn't come, because I actually think Bronny like kind of fits this Suns team. Because from what I saw of Bronny, which was only like a couple games, he's a good shooter, kind of a spot up guy, can bring up the ball a little bit. Seems to me exactly what the Suns lack on their bench is that.
Yeah, I mean, he would just be a vibes guy in this roster for sure. But like this roster kind of could use some vibes guys. So
yeah,
I mean, they just weren't a lot of fun. So if you know, if he's just a good hang, maybe that's part of what they need. You know, so yeah, I'm all for it. You know, we'll see how it shakes out. But the draft's not that far away. I mean, we're gonna knock this finals out, and then I think the draft's like June 27th, 28th, somewhere in that range. So, you know, by the end of the month, we'll have a pretty good, healthy indicator based on what the Suns do on draft night as to, you know, where we're headed.
Here's a good question. Amateurs Golfing on YouTube said, I'm not sure it'd feel right if LBJ was who brought the Suns a ring, and maybe, but it is LeBron. I'm going to tell you this right now. I don't give a fuck who brings the Suns a championship, dude. We are so championship deprived.
I don't either, man.
Dude, it could be Luka. I don't care. Bring the championship. Let me have a parade.
I'm like, you know, I'm 40 years young, man. I'm beyond like, I just need a glass of water. You know, like I just
need a saltine right now.
I always say this, like you can be like pickier about them, like once you get them, and like actually, it's probably one of my least favorite things that people do is like when, you know, they're we'll call it a Cowboys fan, a Niners fan, a whatever, and they had at some point experienced greatness. And so now they're adopting other teams. Like, oh, I'd really like to see the Browns do it. I'm like, buddy, you know what a slap in the face that is to people that are really out here, like desperate for a title when you're like taking on like, oh, this is my like charity team. And I'm like, that's not cute.
Yeah.
It's not cute. It's not funny. And I don't like it. And I need you to get out of my house. But no, sincerely, like I just want to win, you know, and outside of like taking on a guy that's like an actual bad guy or has done something truly terrible, is LeBron James ridiculous? Yes. Does he pretend to like rap and then read it off the lyrics book and put it out on Instagram? Yes. Does he lie about everything? Probably. But he's not like a bad guy. So I would get over that pretty quick. I'd be happy for whatever stupid narrative comes around with all of that. Fine.
Yeah.
Give me the ring.
You can't deny his greatness. That's what Chip said right now. Like, and he's right. Like, the guy's incredible. Like, I think it might be on Twitter fingers. I can't remember if you just sent it to me or if you sent it to the Jump Shots chat. But like that video of LeBron at like 25 years old or 24 years old, where he's just like demolishing people. Like, the guy is incredible, right? Like it's a legit thing if him or MJ was greater. And we're not getting into that. Not tonight. But like,
name your top 5 greatest scorers. No, why don't you have it ready?
But the fact that that's like a legitimate conversation is a real thing. So I don't know. I'm here for it. I would watch probably a lot more Suns basketball. If you told me 5 years ago that we'd have Kevin Durant, LeBron James, Devin Booker, and Bradley Beal, I'd jump through my roof, dude.
I will say too, this is like another cycle of me aging though, as I am realizing, because like I've never been a LeBron guy, right? Like it's to not get into this, but here I like dip my toes into it. Like I've always been an MJ guy, not really been like supporting LeBron or whatever, not defending LeBron, not saying, oh, I actually think. And then now it's like people, you know, wanting to say, because that video comes out because Luka's basically like, see, look at Luka's every bit of what LeBron is at 25. Look at this. And then so then people started putting out those clips of LeBron at 25. I'm already now in my second cycle and I'm already like in defending LeBron mode. like I'm already like, I'm doing it again. I'm already like cycling into my next like, whoa. LeBron might not be the greatest, but he sure as hell is better than Luka. Like
Yeah.
don't you bring me Luka? And now I'm like, and now me and LeBron fans are shaking hands, and we're all on the same team.
Yeah,
Dude,
dude. It's
life of a sports
interesting
fan.
for
Yeah.
sure. But yeah. NCAA football 25 though.
Yeah, let's just talk about all the U of A stuff. Everything. In whatever order you want to talk about it.
Yeah, if you want to talk U of A, I don't know if you caught the first kind of like action shots of the game. They were not rated too high.
Yeah.
They were like, I don't know, like an 86.
Yeah, they're like
And
somewhere in the mid 80s, like overall, which is like not that
or
offensive when you
83.
see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, until you see the other team scores, and then you're like, hey, that is offensive.
Yeah, Baylor was like a 93, and they just came off like one of their worst seasons of all time, and then Utah was like a 92, and I'm like, I don't want to get into this because Utah fans are just relentless. Yeah,
No,
it
you
was
can't.
kind of shitty.
Yeah, at your own risk, bud.
But the funniest thing about that preview was the fact that it showed all the ratings. And then you had ASU's football social media team put out like a screenshot of them matching up against Utah, but they took out the ratings.
They cropped it. Yeah, I saw that. And then there's like more back and forth because someone's like, yeah, well, you also cropped out the part where it says subject to change, which I'm like, all right, dude. All right. Now, all right.
But we know
Stop.
yours aren't going to change very much.
No, not this year, man. I know they're excited about 2025's recruiting class, but not yet, guys. Chill.
Yeah, I did talk to Isaiah Johnson, he's one of the D tackles on the football team, and he had posted like a screenshot of the ratings or whatever, and I made the comment of like, oh, that 76 defensive ratings, you guys are going to make that look really, really low, and he loved that, so that was cool. I did think our defensive rating was really, really low considering we're bringing back like mainly everyone outside of like Ephesians Price Hawk, but what do I know? I'm definitely going to play the shit out of that game though. Like, oh boy,
we're never going to get respect in that stuff though. No, I'm not going to. I'm not even going to play it, but the gameplay looks sick. Like, I mean, I might play it at a friend's house at some point one day. Maybe I'm over at your place and pick them up and see what's going on and see if I can throw some zone defenses at you and get in your head. But no, like ultimately, man, it is cool just to see it back. It just warms my heart. I'm not even gonna do it, but I'm excited for the
triple
people
option
that
with
are.
Noah.
Oh, I'll be doing some things for sure. I mean, I don't. I was not like a drop back. I really valued the run game. I mean, I think people undervalue the run game in NCAA football. I think it's important, and it's just kind of program I run.
Talby said John torches me, and then you just leave. Dude, you're definitely not torching me, bro. Like, you ain't seen me on the sticks. I'm about that life.
I guess we're gonna be Twitch guys. We can be Twitch streamers, at least for a day.
You know what? Our boy's back in town now, and he said he would play NCAA 25 with us. Jacory's officially a Wildcat, by the way. What a weird saga that was. I'm just happy he's back. We got to kind of break the news, like slightly,
Just brain it. Yeah.
Yeah. I knew like a week before because him and I talk, and he let me know that he was coming back. Told me not to like announce it because I get it. Like when you're at that level and the transfer portal is what it is, like, you got to be pretty secretive about that stuff. And I'm sure, especially if, I don't know if you notice Ole Miss, they are destroying the transfer portal. They are getting everybody. And I'm sure that, Lane would probably drop his ass as soon as he found out that he was entertaining anything. But I'm happy he's back. That's sick.
Huge win. Yep.
U of A did really well in the transfer portal. Like the last, when was that, last weekend? They got
2 weekends ago.
They got the other running back from Ole Miss. They got a few other guys. They're looking strong again, so that was cool. But I am excited to have Jacory back. That was about the only good news, though, except for Caleb Love. Caleb Love is coming back, so good things for basketball, but it did come at a cost.
It did, yeah. So, and I guess we can transition into that. But I think, football's continuing their momentum. I'll just, sort of echo what you said. They had a couple of nice weekends there where they're starting to kind of continue to plug pieces into this roster. What we should understand about any of these things is that clearly there's just like no end to the roster building. I think it's funny even after the basketball news. So Caleb Love comes back. the cost that you're speaking to is we have two high school level guys to recruit, Sanan and Jiggy, right? Who both end up bouncing elsewhere. Sanan flipping to Arizona State.
So weird.
Yeah, but it sounded like the tea leaves were out there the whole time. If you've been kind of following people close to it,
From the beginning,
not that we knew for sure it was going to be Arizona State, but just that like he was leaving his options open.
It wasn't going to be.
Yeah,
Did you hear about that?
It was. Yeah, it was supposed to be BYU. Couldn't get in. Didn't wear the right underpants or whatever. And then, then ultimately they wouldn't let him in, and so then he flips to Arizona State, and now that Jiggy's out there too. But I ain't even worried about it from the Cats' perspective. I just think it's funny to even like once that wraps, everybody's like, all right, well that ends the recruiting season. It's interesting, and I'm like nothing's over, man. Like any of these kids can reclassify, which like U of A is already after another 5-star to fill right into that Sanan spot. Another kid that has potentially can reclassify. This stuff never ends, man. This like the fact that anybody kids themselves and thinks this is over. A coach could leave tomorrow for something else, open up a roster of 12, and reshake the deck for 200 kids again. Arizona basketball is in a good place, man. I ain't sweating anything that happened over that weekend. It sucks for. I think if like you're a U of A fan, it just kind of sucks that like a couple of those guys went to Arizona State. You don't want them to have anything nice, but ultimately we're talking about a couple of freshmen who we'll see.
Yeah. And shout out to Jason Shearer because he actually reported some really cool information about like the whole saga. And his whole thing was like, no matter what, like, does it suck losing 2 5-star freshmen? Sure. But if it gets you Caleb Love with this roster, you do it every single time. And I couldn't have agreed with him more because like this roster is so ready to like go win a championship. Like if you don't take Caleb Love back, you're starting Bradley at point, and he's not really a traditional point guard, right? And he was a 6th man last year. You go in with a lot more uncertainty, right? And then let's be real, Jiggy had according to Shearer, had a tough year in high school last year. It had been kind of known for a while that he probably wasn't coming. Sanan, I guess like his entire recruitment has been just like, he wasn't ever going to come here. Like he chose us because he had bad visits
shots
elsewhere.
and or dollars. Yeah. In some order. Yeah.
Yeah. He had bad visits at Kentucky, bad visit at, I think, what was it, like Louisville or something. And decided just to commit to us. And I guess it caught U of A off guard, according to Shearer. And like everybody knew that he wasn't coming here. Right. And is that really the guy that you want on a team like this? Probably not. Right. You want the guy like Caleb Love, who is proven. He's a stud. He's the reigning Pac-12 player of the year, dude. Like now you get him for one more year with this roster, and you added the Australian kid that apparently can shoot the lights out. I'm excited. I think they're in a really good place. I know a lot of people were pissed about losing 2 5-stars, but guys, like
Caleb's going to be better than probably both those guys.
Yeah.
Definitely one of those guys. And I would not be shocked at all when they just add another 5-star to this class.
That's the thing that people forget.
When you're Arizona, you don't worry about this. This is very exciting for Arizona State, and it's an interesting talking point for them for a minute. When you're Arizona, baby, you just reload. Like, we don't have to worry about all this. Like, oh my God, we lost the 5. All right, cool. So we get another 5-star. Like, fine. That's the best part about when kids declare for the draft. I'm like, great. It opens 2 slots for those 5-stars. Look, if Pella had come back, we would have taken him, right? But he decided to go. If Ballo could have came back, we would have taken him. But if not, we just go recruit 5-stars. We go get big time transfers. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, it's just all do the pieces work together to actually build a championship team, and that's all we should be thinking about. We shouldn't even be worried about next year because this stuff changes so fast.
Yeah. And dude, Tommy's a good recruiter, like a very good recruiter.
We're fine. That's what I mean.
He's gonna find 5-stars, dude. Like, don't be worried about that. Be happy that you got the reigning Pac-12 player of the year in Caleb Love that fits this team really well. And you know what? Another year in the system, because I think people forget that too. Last year's his first year playing under Tommy, first time playing at Arizona. Now he gets a whole nother year to go out and like just build on that momentum. Like, dude, I'd be real excited if you're an Arizona basketball fan, because it's never looked more like a championship roster. So I'm excited about it. Unfortunately, the bad news around U of A was U of A baseball. Shout out to Chip. He's over here in our comments talking about GCU grad here, Lopes up. Yeah, we got punked. We got absolutely shit on in our own stadium. Seems to be kind of like a Chip Hale thing. I don't know if you noticed, dude. Like the last few years, we get to the regionals and we just get shit on. So I don't know. Did you watch any of it?
Yeah, but thing is, so I wasn't really. I'll just say that them winning the Pac-12 championship, both in conference and then winning the Pac-12 tournament, I think they just kind of overachieved. I mean, I don't think this roster, like anybody ever really thought. I mean, even as we were doing it, I'm like, oh, it's really cool that we're doing this. But ultimately, not really surprised that they didn't perform well. Like, I'm not stunned. I didn't think we were overwhelmingly talented. So from that perspective, like it puts a lens on Chip again because he hasn't really done well from a playoff perspective. And then what I think people forget, but I certainly don't ever, is that this is, a university that's won 4 national championships in baseball. So this ain't no joke here. Okay. Like this is like a serious baseball program. And that's really the only reason Chip is going to get any heat right now is because the standard is so high. If it wasn't anything else, it'd be like, hey man, you just won your conference and won your like, great job, great season. I'm really glad that we did win it. To me, it was kind of like, we already had that. So to me, it was kind of funny to just abuse the power we had, basically. Like, yeah, watch this burn in our own stadium. I just kind of chuckled it off that way. Of course, I would have liked to see us play well, but I don't know in my heart of hearts that I ever thought that this was one of those teams I was going to make like a really deep run. So not surprising. Chip, you're kind of on notice. I ain't mad at you, but, the level of this program and the eyes that are on it, the standard's just really high.
Yeah, I mean, I was kind of calling for his head even before they went on that huge run because what they win, dude, like 20 games in a row or something like that. It was like absolutely
it was
insane.
like a 15-ish game win streak or whatever it was. It was
stupid,
incredible.
But before that, dude, they weren't looking too hot. You know what I mean? And like they haven't been recruiting that great. So I was kind of calling for his head. Honestly, dude, they just ran into a better team. Like GCU athletics, like we talked about it during March Madness, but dude, they're on a heater
for sure.
They are a very, very good athletic program, and I don't know, man. They were kind of a buzzsaw down here in Tucson. So I think you're exactly on it, dude. I think we just weren't as talented as people thought we were. And we just rode the momentum wave as long as we could. And we ran out of juice, bro. That's all it was.
Yeah. But, and baseball's a weird one. Just kind of like March Madness where, like if you're a hot team, like you can win some games, win a couple series, and all of a sudden you're in the College World Series, and who knows, maybe you get a couple bounces your way. And if you don't, and they didn't hit, like for nothing. So you don't get hits, you don't advance.
Yep, exactly. But you know what? At the end of the day, what a year by Arizona sports. What a way to leave the Pac-12, dude. I said it on the last episode, but like the Pac-12 was ours, dude. We own that shit for at least the last like 20, 30 years, bro. Like we own that shit. And like so many different sports. Basketball, that was our conference. Baseball, that was our conference. Football, we've had our moments, but like just overall as an athletic program, like we just like Bill Walton, baby, we owned it, So all right, man. Well, with that, we're gonna go on to our favorite time of the show. We're going to look at Twitter fingers if you guys are listening in your car or in your headphones. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. If you are listening audibly, this is where I would tell you, hey, maybe go ahead and pull this shit up on video. This is one that I sent to you earlier, Henny. I don't know if you saw it, but this one's pretty interesting. Sam Cooper originally put the 06-07 rotation if we would have kept our draft picks. Because I'm sure you remember, we were notorious for just consistently trading out of the draft, right? And this lineup would have been nasty. Nash, Bell, Marion, Diaz, Stoudemire, six-man Barbosa, who I think got six-man of the year that year. But then we would have Luol Deng, Rajon Rondo. Like, if they gave any kind of shit about talent development, that would have won us a championship. What makes it even harder pill to swallow, here's some more history. The Suns were attempting to land Tracy McGrady and reportedly offered Marion and number 7 to Orlando. The Magic said they would explore McGrady trades after the draft, which I think that was the year he got traded to the Rockets. The Suns grew impatient and egregiously traded number 7 a day before the draft. The Suns did this because they really liked Iguodala, but didn't think he would be there at number 7. He ended up going at number 9. So they made a deal with the Bulls because they felt no one on the board was good enough to help them. Trading number 7 also cleared salary for them to have near max cap space to chase free agents like Kobe Bryant, who was in a huge drama fight with Phil Jackson and Shaq at the time. This was a coffee book. The Suns prepared for a free agent meeting with Kobe Bryant. Look at that, dude. Look at that right there. Would that have not been insane?
Yeah, so you just like sent this to make me feel better? Or?
It's because the draft is coming up,
I
you know, and yeah, I guess it does kind of make you feel a little bit better, you know. But it ended up working pretty well for us, right? Suns struck out on Kobe Bryant.
This is why I would take LeBron James, by the way. Like just going through like the nightmare horror shows of like how many ways this, like the Suns have been planning against us this entire time.
But it worked out for him, dude, because look, the Suns struck out on Kobe Bryant after he flirted with the idea of leaving the Lakers for the Clippers, but ultimately decided to return to the Lakers. Phoenix quickly pivoted and signed Nash and Q-Rich. With this team, the Suns would go on to finish 62-20, losing 4-1 in the Western Conference Finals versus Spurs. Man, what a wild year that was, you know? And that team was one of my all-time favorite sports teams. Not even just basketball, but like sports teams. That 7 seconds or less Suns, like incredible. But man, can you imagine the Suns if they would have traded Marin and gotten T-Mac? Because that was like prime T-Mac. He was nasty back then. I was thinking T-Mac, what was that one where I think he scored like, what was it, dude? Like, was it 21 points or something like that in like a minute or something?
There was something. I don't know exactly what the numbers are, but I know what you're talking about. And there was also a year, maybe 03, where it was just basically T-Mac and Kobe trading, going for 40, 50, 52, 55, like just night after night after night. Awesome time in the NBA. Awesome.
Yeah. And then if we would have been able to get Kobe, like, okay, you know, but
that's what's crazy. Like literally any of those, like give me Luol Deng, give me Rondo, give me Iguodala, give me one of those guys, re-sign Joe Johnson. Any of those things like all feel like a championship to me.
Dude, Iggy on that Suns team. Oh my God.
Yeah, him and Marion playing defense on the perimeter. Are you kidding me?
Dude, and then Nash is throwing lobs to Iggy. Like,
yeah, Iggy's playing backup point to Nash, just coming and learning from Steve, basically.
That's why also, what a dumb thing to do, trading your draft pick the day before the draft. Like, why? Why?
Yeah, when like developed college players used to come out of the draft. Like, what are we talking about here?
Like, wait until you get to your pick, and then if you don't like anybody, trade it. Like, what are we doing, trade it dude?
It's absurd.
Yeah.
I hate them so much.
Staying on the Suns, though, really quick. This man, KD, is doing jump shots in the club.
I did.
You know what? At least my man's staying ready. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. He's committed to life, dude. He's
we're gonna get prime KD next year. I can feel it in my bones, dude. If we get LeBron James, prime KD, because he's just his offseason regimen of just taking shadow box jumpers into the club. It's looking good for us, bud.
I mean, I'm glad to see his head's in it, dude. I am. I'm glad. I mean, we could be seeing worse.
All right, and then RIP to another legend. Larry Allen died today. Strongest man I have ever seen, probably. 225 pounds, 43 times. And that's like no warm-up either. He did that just at the Pro Bowl, just like chilling.
Yeah. You know, he probably just had a big breakfast and rolled up.
You got Poe in the background, by the way, so the vibes are super high. But also, I saw a video of him today where he bench pressed 700 pounds. Like, dude, he was a machine. He was only 52 years old, too. Can you believe that? Died in Mexico.
Yeah, that's a big boy.
I could watch that dude do that all day, though. That's crazy. 43 times, dude. Wild.
Really, the NFL, like, I know you just name drop Poe. The NFL, like, you don't need mascots.
Post
We don't
it,
need
dude.
that. We don't need all that.
Oh, here we go.
But yeah, I just want to talk about this just generally.
Yeah, let me
It
share
goes to the
that
website
screen.
though. I mean, we don't need. Yeah, I was like, I don't even know how to we can just talk about it even.
No, I got you. Here we go. Oh, the Warbird National. You want to talk
Course
to
and
it?
claw. So, I don't know. I guess this is a concept, but someone basically wants to. And look, it sounds like it's all like great intention, right? Like they want to give back to our Air Force. They, want to do that through some formation of golf. But as you sift through this website, you will also find quotes like, imagine seeing a MiG or an F-15 that's taken down multiple MiGs in separate wars as you tee off on 16 over water. And
Look at this.
I mean,
dude.
this would be cool. I'm not saying this wouldn't be
Look
cool.
at this map, bro.
Do I want to see a stealth bomber on the water, and do I want to tee off over it? Yeah, I do. But I just have also questions and concerns, and I just, it's an interesting idea. I just can't believe it's a real idea. It feels like one of those things that New Orleans would have, or maybe they work it into the wild world of Disney, but it's just I don't know. Let us know your thoughts. Do you think fighter jets and golf? That's a vibe,
dude. But let's go through this map really quick because I'm fascinated. All right, you got hole 1. Here's your tee box. Okay, you're right next to just this behemoth of a plane. You got a little.
You probably tee off from on top of an F-14 Tomcat.
You got a little par 4 action here, right? For sure, par 4. Hole 2, you got a little water action. Okay. But you also got a stealth bomber right here, bro. Freaking stealth bomber.
Damn right you do.
When you and I talked about this, my dumbass would definitely shank the hell out of the ball and definitely hit the stealth bomber. But this looks more like a par 5. This is a pretty long hole. Par 3, and then you go to hole 3. Where's 3 at? Yeah. Little par 3 right here. But you got this sick lake with some kind of I don't know, water.
It's an A-10 Warthog that's just placed on the water. I don't know what's going on.
But look at this thing, dude. You got freaking Black Hawk Down over here.
Yeah.
On 13.
Couple Apaches on 13.
You got a couple of Harriers on 16 over here. You got a tank. A tank over by 10. Dude, nothing screams more like America, hell yeah, than this golf course. And I'm just saying, what really intrigued me, where did it go? Let's see. Partners. If you guys want jump shots from the goal line to be a partner of this golf course, please let us know. I'll do my research, at least I can promise you that. Talby said it's not stealth if you can hit it. Brother, let me tell you, none of those planes are going to be stealthing.
That's the thing, man. I'm just also I don't know. I just as much as I like all the best case scenarios of this course, all the worst case scenarios that I go through as one of my fellow patriots tackles a man for taking too many pictures, or whatever's going on in this golf course. I just don't. And also, I don't really know if I want to golf where people are taking every third hole as a photo opportunity.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Down.
Yeah, you're like, hey, those are live rounds, buddy. You better keep it moving. So it's an interesting concept, though. I think that people needed to know about that. So hopefully we've introduced something to you. So let's either make this thing happen or, whatever.
I want to know where they're getting the planes from. Is it from the boneyard or
I guess
we partnering with the Pima.
I did have friends with questions about that. I was like, hey, I'm sure if you're willing to donate an F-15, if anybody has an extra one, I'm sure they're accepting donors. I did see there was a listing there.
Jesus. All right, then you sent this. Tavares didn't correctly solve the puzzle, but we won't soon forget his response.
Tavares, right in the butt? What? No. Blake.
This is the best.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, so those letters don't even matter. I just like that guy can't even spell.
Yeah. I think they're both right though. Right.
I mean,
this is the best.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I mean, like
Tavares.
this, right? 4 letters, 5, and whatever. It was a good get. I like that he was just like, I'll get it next time.
And then I sent you this because we just like to shit on Baylor all the time, but honoring the past. And then you have the meme, which passed? Which passed?
Yeah. So shout out Baylor. We're trying to make it. I think we should start making. I mean, we're gonna have to slowly make the Big 12 our enemy.
Yeah, I mean,
Baylor, you're up first.
We have to start getting into it for sure. All right, here's another one. How's the internet free?
Climbing up to the top rope. There's no way they're gonna do this. Indeed, they are. Coast to coast.
Yeah, this is. What do you call these videos? Does it have like a? Does it have like
a? Made in like Malaysia or something.
Yeah, so this is one of those. We're gonna just gently say, like some Asian country makes these videos, recreates these, and it's like, is it all? I feel like 90% of the time it's just a wrestling thing.
Yeah, for sure. It is sick though. I'll give it that. I hate that it's the Mavericks, but it is sick.
Yeah, no, those things are always funny. I don't even know like what that genre. Like, I feel like that genre needs a name.
Yeah, it does. We talked about American just things. Well, this is pretty darn American right here. That might be the coolest national anthem I've ever seen. I don't know how you feel.
I liked it. I will say, I was like, part of me was hoping for more. I don't know if he can dig a little deeper and find a little more on that long note, for the home of the brave and all of that. But
fair.
Still very impressive, very cool, a unique national anthem. I'd be happy to say I was at the Whistle game. Like.
Then you sent this, Darren Waller, which we'll talk about as well.
Baby, I'm sorry for how I acted. But if you give me another chance, I could be the boo of your dreams, girl. So when you're sleeping and you're dreaming of a boo, I want that boo to be me. I want me to be that boo. So will you take me, babe?
First and foremost, Parks and Rec is incredible.
Sleeper show. Yeah, a little bit of a sleeper. It's a good one.
The rewatchability is always great. So, but the Darren Waller saga, my God, like that music video that came out was something. The Kelsey Plum lookalike, was odd. That was a choice. The choice was made for that.
Very JT Crimea River vibes.
Yeah, except she looked nothing like Kelsey Plum because nobody can, that's Bay. He's in a weird spot, like potentially retiring, getting divorced from Kelsey Plum,
starting R&B career.
Yeah,
or rock.
We might need to.
Was that rap? What was that even?
It almost had like country vibes to it as well.
Like
kind of like the hip hop thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I agree. Actually, I think that's actually where it fits the best.
Yeah, wasn't good, but it was something. I'm worried about him, especially with his past.
Same, same, and it's like, I'm really rooting for him. Like, I don't want to wish anything bad on Darren Waller, but that was a very tough scene. Trying to watch that and just be like, I want to be supportive, but there's just so many jokes here. You're really putting me in a pickle here, bud.
You really teed it up here.
Yeah, I was like, holy hell, this is. I'll always remember where I was when it came out. You know what I mean? It's one of those.
And then you sent this one. I love this. This is a little bit older now, but Mathern says being hurt actually helped him connect to his teammates a little bit more. He's actually been baking. He brings baked goods on the plane. Said the team has seen a different side of him through that. Sometimes I forget that Mathern is actually Canadian, and then I see something like this, and it just reminds me that he is in fact Canadian and just a really nice guy.
I know there's so I was like I'm having both, right? I'm like, so he's an NBA player, so he's baking special brownies or is he baking regular brownies? He's Canadian, as you mentioned, so maybe he's just a nice guy. But yeah, it is like funny to just that's just a I mean, if you saw Matherin here, right? Like it's just I think that's surprising. I didn't see him as a baked goods guy.
No, not at all. Talby had a good question. Who is the best athlete rapper of all time?
I mean, Master P's in the conversation, right?
Oh yeah, Master P, dude, because he did play a little bit for the Raptors.
Yeah,
so he's there.
I feel like everybody else is just talking about it. I mean, J. Cole played for like a tiny bit of like fake professional basketball, right?
That doesn't count. No.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
He said Shaq, but Shaq is like comically bad at rapping.
So is he saying like best? I mean, if your question's best athlete who rapped, that's like a different angle, I guess.
I think it's like just best rapper athlete. And he said Master P was rapper turned athlete. And I disagree with you on that. Like, you're an athlete that is also a rapper. Granted, I agree with you in the fact of like he definitely was a rapper before he became a not popular basketball player, but became a basketball player. But I guarantee he was a basketball player before he became a rapper, if that makes sense.
The best guy who's an athlete and then ended up rapping, then like if you're trying to like spin it the way he's spinning it, is probably then like Adrian Foster, right?
Arian Foster?
Yeah, Arian. Yes, thank you. Yes, but I mean, like, 'cause that's a guy who like actually puts out music that some people actually like. Because I don't even think like Dame, like people don't really even listen to Dame's music like that, do they? Like, but some people fuck with Bobby Pino.
I think, yeah. I mean, I think he has like an actual following, right?
Yeah, that's what I mean. I feel like he has like the biggest following, like relative to, specifically to his rap success.
Yeah, like I think people actually know him as a rapper instead of an athlete.
Right. Like at least is like a thing. I mean, even though it's not. I don't think any of these guys that are like athletes though, like that we think of, like Shaq's not a good rapper. Like I don't think anything. I mean, I haven't listened to all of Dame's music, but I've never really thought that.
Roy Jones Jr. He had that one song.
Oh yeah, he did have a song. Yep, that was weird
that was
too.
Good. I did listen to a whole Le'Veon Bell hip hop album the year that he was a free agent because I thought he was coming to the Ravens when he went to the Jets. I don't know if that counts. Because
that's the funniest thing to do as a sad fan. Be like, I don't know. I guess I gotta check out his album just in case.
Well, that was the rumor, dude. Was that he was putting like Easter eggs in there about like where he was gonna go.
Yeah, no, dude, that's just. I don't blame you. That's just a funny thing to have. Like that's any fan would do that. I mean, it'd be weird not to. But
everything I'm looking up right now, Master P is like the first person to come up.
I think Master P is the one that makes the most sense to me.
JID's on here.
I guess I don't know.
But I don't think he was like an actual athlete.
I know, like he's too like new for me. Like, I mean, I know who he is, but like I don't know enough about him.
Yeah, me either. 2 Chainz played basketball at Alabama State.
Take that.
Yeah, I like that.
A little 2 Chainz in there.
Yeah. All right. I think we're done with that question. Charlie Hull.
This is how far we go. Oh.
She's on one right now.
Absolutely legendary.
She is a perfect example that like SIGs are still cool.
Yeah, SIGs are never not cool, by the way. Like I know I've talked to you about this like off air, if you will. Yeah. Cigarettes are cool, and that's like the actual. I need to be more committed. We don't do like movie reviews here, but I am a firm believer that like the more cigarettes in a movie, the better. Therefore, I'm like a 5 cigarettes rating guy. Like the best movie is it's a 5 cigarettes film.
Yeah, pull back.
And just plain and simple. So I've known about Charlie Hull for a while. Just like I know like plenty of like women on the PGA Tour. Follow just enough golf content, whatever. Even we'll watch, some of their majors a little bit. But I love that the whole world just found out what Charlie Hull was,
I didn't know who
Charlie Hull was, because she didn't smoke a cigarette. Like she smokes one cigarette, and now she's the coolest golfer on the planet. So everybody immediately comparing her to John Daly, which fair or unfair. I will tell you though, she does have like a really aggressive game.
Yeah.
And if you enjoy like golf at all and you were going to cross over and you're looking for someone that, you want to watch play, like if you like aggressive golf, that's how Charlie goes. So same way she smokes her cigarettes, she plays the game with the same reckless abandonment.
Yeah, I think it's just hilarious that she's getting like hit up in the DMs and like the whole story that she shared about a guy like dropping a piece of paper and saying, "Hey,
Yeah.
you dropped this," and it was just like asking for a date. Like, that's what I'm saying, dude. Cigs are still cool. I don't smoke, you don't smoke, but like they're still cool.
No, I'm like never gonna smoke a cigarette, but I would like hold one for sure. Like just if you're like, hey dude, like I don't know anybody here, like try to look cool, I'd be like, all right, let's get some cigarettes. I don't know, what else can we do? What else can we do?
Yeah. No, she's getting a lot of shine for it, dude. And I think it's so funny, like all the nerds in the comments, they're like, "Oh, there's young kids out there that are impressionable, blah 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 blah." Like, calm down, all right? Let the
Dude,
lady
stop being such a lazy parent. You can take 2 seconds out of your day to be like, hey, don't do that. I
but
know it
also
looks
look how
cool.
cool
I'm
she
like
looks.
cool, like cool as hell. Like I know she looks fucking so cool, but like don't do that, dude. Like you're not gonna look that cool. I mean, you might, but you'd probably look sick. But don't do that. It's not good for you, even though you would look awesome.
Don't do that.
Don't,
But if you did, I'd take a picture.
Honestly, I'd probably want to hang out with you more, to be honest. Like I'm just being honest with you because you look so fucking cool. Yeah. But don't like absolutely like read the package. It says cancer, birth defects, the whole thing. I mean, that's all true, but you would look sick.
I don't know if this was true or not, but somebody said that the reason that she started to do it is because she's trying to quit vaping. I just thought that was
I saw that too. I don't know. I didn't like do any more like independent research, but I did see that, and I hope that is true because that's also very funny. Because I think that's like what most of us have. Like, if you've had some sort of like vice, you are constantly doing other things, which is why we're right back to taste. This is the most tasties in a show I've ever done, but it literally just keeps coming back. Like when in doubt, just throw these things in your mouth, and that way you don't have to die. And actually, you can still look. I think
pretty
you can still look cool with the tasty. I mean, it's kind of a similar vibe. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think what we're really trying to say is like, hey, Charlie, if you're now trying to quit cigs, like go to tasty.com, find a flavor that suits you. Maybe it's the one that comes out in June because of this podcast. And then hit them up and see if, get a little sponsorship going on, really start building the brand because these things rock, right? And you'll look just as cool, if not cooler. So go to tasty.com. I'm a big fan. I did a lot of the mixed berry this weekend. I like the mixed berry quite a bit.
Promo code Jump Shots, save 15%.
Yeah, go do it. Go try them. I promise you will actually enjoy it. So, well, that's all I got for this show, dude. We're already pretty far into it, but we got a lot of stuff out there. Talby said cigarette flavored teas, the whole edition.
Well, they're going to open up flavor voting in June. We'll see if we can get it on there.
Listen, dude, he already has a mint flavor, so I think that's pretty close to menthol. So
just the crack of the old crushed cigarettes. Bring those back.
Yeah.
Give me a Camel Crush, and I might get back into smoking.
All right, make sure that you hit that like or subscribe button, hit the bell to get notified when we go live or when a new video drops. Make sure you're following us on social media. We're on Twitter/X, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. We're on all of them. And then be on the lookout too. Me and Henny are kind of cooking up some merch stuff out there. I've been kind of promoting it, teasing it on the socials. So go out there and look at it. If you haven't, we're going to have some golf stuff, some Arizona style stuff. And then, we got ideas for some more stuff. So be on the lookout for that. But other than that, make sure you guys stay safe the rest of the week. Go hit the course this week before it gets too hot. And we'll talk to you later. Adios.